was, a week after the war ended, and they said they could isolate SARS with interferon. Now, interferon is the stuff that was taken from the testicles of the black boys and the genitals of black children in the Atlanta child murders. And it was $1 million a vial. They said the most expensive stuff on the planet. And it was between the ages of, the ones who got the most is between the ages of 6, or like, let's say, like 5 to 7 years old. And isn't it interesting that the children that was going to war on the Congo, Africa, they got these children fighting wars in Africa, their average age is 7 years old. And this stuff was $1 million a vial, but all of a sudden now they're talking about all this interferon, and then when you go on the internet, they talk about this interferon cures muscular sclerosis. But meanwhile, when these soldiers down in Iraq was coming down with this mysterious disease, it was equivalent to some type of muscular sclerosis type thing that destroys the molecular structure of the body. You see, all this stuff is tied in. All this stuff is tied in. But anyway, the big thing is this interferon that came, you know, so it used to be so expensive, but remember now they're killing these children from Africa now. You see, so all of this stuff is going down, and it's going down, and this is the way. So we still talking about people being under siege. Now, moving right along. This is happening. So we got to recap a lot of things that you need to look out for. It's happening in New York City, and that is they have taken the child support laws and put them together with the welfare laws. This is happening around the country, and they're telling black men that if you receive welfare, or your children receive welfare in your lifetime, that you got to pay welfare back. Is this thing happening here?
Yeah.
Okay. They're saying you got to pay welfare back.
If the female receive welfare, then they'll go find the male,
right,
until they collect the child support.
Mm-hmm. This is the mystery on this. They're saying that if you receive welfare in the 70s, in the 80s, in the early 90s, you got to pay the government back. And they're going to show you your check. Now, I thought that welfare was supposed to be an aid. Alright? Now, how can you take something that's an aid and an assistance and make it into a loan? You understand what I'm saying? Welfare was supposed to be an aid and assistance. How can you make it into a loan? And they got black people that's got to pay it back. They're going to shoot their checks. And if they don't pay it back, they go to jail. Because they put it under the child support laws so they can enforce it. Now the mystery here is this. The white boys ain't got to pay back the welfare. And there was more white people on welfare than black people. Now what's the difference here? The difference here is they gave white people welfare as an aid. That doesn't apply to black people because we are not citizens. We are 14th Amendment slaves and property of the United States government. So therefore, now, in the movie Starship Troopers, go back and watch that movie, they said, what is the difference between a citizen and a civilian? A citizen has inalienable rights. A civilian always has to have something given to them, and so therefore can always be revoked. We are civilians. Now you say, well, Bobby, damn, we get the vote, right? We get all these inalienable rights. Yes, you get those rights, and those rights are called what? Privileges. Understand the difference between a right and a privilege. A privilege is something that can be taken away. You understand what I'm saying? So, because you were not a citizen and you got the aid, and this is just not anything, because we need to look at this type of thing to find out this. Because if they do it with the welfare, they can do this with anything. They can do this whenever you owe any bill in this country. You understand what I'm saying? Now, they have made it into a loan. Now, what's happening when these countries like Africa, and different countries in Africa, and different so-called quote-unquote third world countries borrow money from the United States government? They give them this loan, they got a debt. Okay, because you are not a citizen, you are a civilian, but you are also, in one way, sovereign, because you're not a United States citizen, so therefore this thing becomes a loan. And you got to pay the shit back. So we are civilians, but we have privileges. And they can revoke your privilege just like they revoked Janet Jackson's privilege to go to the goddamn Grammys. And the white boy, they couldn't revoke his privilege because he has the freedom of speech. And by him being a citizen, he gets to go to the goddamn Grammys. You see what I'm saying? Because he's a citizen and damn Janet Jackson was a civilian. So therefore they're telling her, you don't line up under fucking damn freedom of speech and freedom of nothing. Freedom of expression. Your motherfucking ass is in violation of the United States laws. And so therefore, we revoke your privilege to be an honorary white folk. An honorary white person. So you can't come to the Grammys, just like you a fucking child. It's very key. It's very key. Y'all alright? Let's go on. Let's go on with some stuff that's going down here. Let's see here. Anyway, did anybody want to go into a question and answer right quick before we gonna go into another segment? We're gonna take a break. But anybody want to go into a question and answer real quick? Because that's the way we're starting to do it. We're starting to bust this thing up like a town meeting, and we want people to get some questions before they get up and leave. What's that?
I want to know, what is the science behind them changing the names of places, like changing the name from Persia to Iraq, or, you know, what, do you know?
It's very interesting. I think it got something to do with they don't want a certain amount of ancient energy, a certain amount of thing to happen from a certain place. Now we know it was Babylonia, but we know it was Persia for thousands of years too. So therefore, they change it a lot of times because those particular places probably got a certain history to them, and they don't want to do, they don't want to invoke a certain amount of energy. Like, give me an example. You get Turkey, you get Iraq, you get Iran, and all these places you get. Afghanistan. Now check it out, how this thing goes. Iraq, Iraq used to be a citadel or capital of the Moors. When they first took the stuff, when the Arabs invaded Egypt, the Moors, which was an Egyptian priesthood basically, took under the banner of Islam, went up into Iraq, and translated Baghdad, and translated a lot of material from Metanetta into Arabic and took it on into Europe and taught the Europeans, the Moors. You see what I'm saying? Turkey was also a citadel and a place of the Moors that was a learning center that they tracked some of this particular stuff that came out of Kemet also. It went into Turkey. The area where you got Afghanistan and Pakistan, there was some ancient Indians in an area called Kashmir, and they deal with what's called Shaivism or Shivaism. It's also dealing with the god Shiva. Now, where I'm going with this, and you got Iran. Iraq and Iran was all ancient Persia. Now, look at this. To show you how this thing goes down. They went to Turkey, and Turkey done had 2 fucking earthquakes in the last couple of years. Iran had an earthquake during Christmas. Afghanistan had a war, and Baghdad had a war. You get what's going on here? The earthquakes and the wars coincide because they're all the same. They're under the attack of that area. It's not Islam, it's the ancient aspect of that realm that had much more ancient relics and ancient things that came out of that area, and they was attacking it. And so therefore the earthquake that went down this Christmas was induced by the Illuminati and whatever the government was. Then there was an earthquake in Turkey that was induced. Then there was an earthquake in India recently. These earthquakes that we have, why is it these earthquakes are induced in all these ancient lands, but yet Europe and none of the white lands get shit? You see what I'm saying? That's because they are manufacturing these earthquakes for warfare. So when they change the names a lot of times, it's still that same warfare type situation. That same warfare type situation. Give me some questions right quick before we go to the break, because we want to break it up, do some stuff.
Yeah, I
had
a question when you was talking about the Moors.
Yeah.
I ran into a brother, I don't know if I'm really taking it. He was telling me how being a Moor, or studying up under the Moors, he could get out of certain things, or laws that were in the land in the United States. That he can walk into like
Let me tell you about this. Let me go put this Moor shit to rest right now. Now any Moors up in here, you can challenge me on this shit right here. We're going to put this Moor shit to rest right now, all you black ass Moors. And let me tell you what this thing is about, so you know, because you get ready to get caught up in some bullshit, because the Moors been hollering that shit for years. And they hit a lick out of a damn snake. You can't get out of shit because you a damn Moor. The white man know who the fuck you are. They know you Moors. They know you all types of things. So let me tell you what's going down here. It's a hoax. Now y'all listen to me and listen to me how this shit is going. Any Moors up in this motherfucker? Because your ass is getting ready to go to jail under this terrorism. So you better listen to what the fuck I'm saying. And you better not miss a beat. You better catch this one, because the white man gonna catch your ass. Now, this is what's going on. All that stuff, the Moroccan Treaty, and all the more stuff they're talking about, all that stuff did happen. There was 5 presidents before there was the one, you know, you got your Hanson, the first president of America. All that shit is true. But it's a scheme that's going down with the United States government, and that is this. You go and you get all this shit, and you make yourself sovereign, you make yourself the Moor, you make yourself all of this here, you go through, and you get all these papers, and you get all this shit signed, and you get all this shit hooked up. And guess what? Homeland Security has the Moors under the terrorist bill, and under the terrorist act, the Moors are one of the first motherfuckers on that bitch. So when you get all signed up and all this shit, they can step to you and say, you are a part of a terrorist organization. Now I told the people this shit a couple of weeks or a month after 9/11, and I got it on the tape in December. I did one in December, I did a lecture down in Atlanta on December the 22nd, 2001. And I told him, I said, now we just had this building up in September, and the target group that they're going to focus on going to be the Moors. Because they done with the Nation of Islam and all them, they finished. You know, Farrakhan done retired and stuff, so they took them on, you know, it's hard to get a goddamn good bean pie around here. You know, right now. Where the fuck the bean pies at? You know, you at least could get a goddamn good bean pie and shit. You know what I'm saying? And it's like they say, where these motherfuckers get these bean pies from? They sell out of bean pies, and then like 5 minutes later, they be back with a couple more. It's like they go around the corner, they come back with a goddamn bean pie. But they done stopped this shit. I told these people that the next group was going to be the Moors. Now check this out. I told her this on December the 22nd, 2001. I did a 2-day lecture down in Atlanta. The very next day I did the lecture, the Atlanta Journal-Constitution, the newspaper down there, ran a whole story on the Moors. But they didn't tell you whether they was black or not. They didn't tell you what they did. They just said the Moors, an Islamic group in Spain. Now, because they made it an Islamic group, you see, they got you under the banner of the same motherfucking Islamic group that they have dealt with terrorism. Now, it's even more so because the Moors are dealing with all this contractual shit. Y'all, you get where I'm coming from?
Yeah, come on.
And all of these documents, and they let them go right ahead, they're doing all this shit, and guess what? Then, they declare you terrorists, and they come and round up all the goddamn Moors. And the only thing they got to do is they got these niggas, they got all kind of clandestine little groups of Moors, and they be doing all kind of crazy shit. And once they do this stuff, all that stuff is up under the Terrorist Act. So the Moors is going to be the first motherfuckers get locked up with all that yang shit they talking about. We can do all this and all that. But let me tell you something. Anytime you see these niggas coming up to you talking about sign up and get all this shit about the Moors this and the Moors that and the Moroccan Treaty and all that kind of stuff, guess what? Those are government plants. That's their job, to get you hooked into the bullshit. And when you get hooked into the bullshit, that's how they're going to take you down. That's the last group. Understand where I'm coming from with this thing here. That stuff here. Don't sign nothing and don't get into nothing. Now, they had one sister in Charlotte, North Carolina. Her shit was so tight, she was getting back people. Let's say if the government owed you $4,000 for your income tax, she could get you back 50. She can get you back 20. She can get you back 60. Now, how is that? Everybody here has a birth certificate that was sold to England. You heard about all the straw man stuff. And somewhere down in Central America, in Bahamas, or somewhere around the world, they got a business being operated with under your name. And the IRS got to pay you back money every year based on that business is operated based on your name. The problem here is the sister was getting back the people's money, getting them $60,000, $50,000 back, $70,000, $1,000 back, $100,000. There's only one problem though. She did the wrong thing, and that is, you see the movie Scarface, and the movie when he was working for the first boss that he killed, and the guy told him, he said, never get too big. He said, you owe too many people. He said, always. He said, I stay low because that's safe. And remember in the movie, The Empire Strikes Back, when they went to see Billy D. Williams and he had a little city in the sky, and they said, why the doggone Empire ain't taking over this thing? He said, because we're a small-minded operation and they don't see no value in it. The mystery here is to stay small. So this sister was getting back people's money, but she started getting big and she had 1,000 dead niggas. She was getting back their money, and them damn niggas started fighting and stuff because she wasn't getting their money back fast enough, and them niggas turned her in. And now she facing 50 years, and she been sitting in jail since doggone December. And they won't even let her out of jail. They won't give her no bond. The mystery here is, at this particular time right now, the people are shit. Shit in, shit out. Remember they told you in the Matrix that although you're trying to free these people are part of this system, and they're to be looked upon as an agent and also the enemy. You got to look upon the people as the enemy, and I'm talking about black folks. Dead black folks are dangerous now. You got to now look upon them as the goddamn enemy. In order to save them in the long run, because the souls are going to be saved, you can't have nobody fucking up your shit. And I'm telling you, these black people, it's just like this here now. It's interesting. One of these guys come by, he come by the house every damn day to see whether I need a ride to the fucking store, because I ain't got no car. And he got time to do this shit because he got fired from his job. Why he got fired from his job? Because he was on the job telling these niggas about how white folks is doing them, and these niggas got together and went and told the boss man on it. Don't cast, but they say don't cast pearls to swine. Now you got to start turning against the masses because the masses are shit. Shit in, shit out. The people are the fucking enemy. You see what I'm saying? So now anyway, this Moorish thing that's going down, they get ready to trap you up in some shit. Don't sign nothing, don't get with no groups, come out of these groups and become clandestine and only deal with a small circle of people, small cells. What's that?
The lady in North Carolina, weren't they some type of Moors?
Yeah, what she did is she opened up a Moorish law firm. And they was getting people this money back. And the shit was working. And then the Atlanta Journal-Constitution came through. No, Charlotte Observer, and they painted all this shit about her. And all the black people in Charlotte about this. So, because they come on the news, they're going to believe the news. She in jail right now, locked down. She facing 50 years. They locked her down and her sister and a whole bunch of shit. So, but she got too big. You see what I'm saying? But the key here is it's only a matter of time. It's only a matter of time. So that's that whole thing about that bullshit and all. It's nothing but a government setup. And they're going to be the first people they come after. They're going to be them niggas. You see what I'm saying? And any other of these old doggone groups. Get out of the groups. Get out of the doggone groups. It's the same thing with Dr. York. And stuff like that. Now, this nigga here is never going to see the light of day. But some of y'all niggas was following the whole Dr. York thing. But the problem is this about that. Now y'all talking about, oh, they got him locked down. They done got him. Well, I thought the motherfucker was from the planet Ritz. Why don't he tell them some of them motherfuckers from the planet Ritz cracker to come into jail and get him out? Come on. You know what I'm saying? Wait a minute now. How many Dr. York motherfuckers up in here? Let's deal with this shit. Now all of a sudden it's all about legal. Legal this. A brother called me, I'm a representative of Dr. York, and we got the legal battle, and we want the black leaders. I said, no, fuck that. I said, this nigga say he was from the planet Ritz. So he need to get some of them motherfuckers from planet Ritz to come and get him up out of the jail. Or otherwise, he's a charlatan, and he need to be up in that motherfucker. Fucking over black people's minds. Don't claim to be Osiris. You know what I'm saying? You couldn't tell them Dr. York niggas nothing when this nigga was rolling. But see, you don't understand something. The spirit now is shutting down all these major charlatan leaders. H-Rap Brown, he got the damn woman in Atlanta veiled up to her eyes. And shit. Walking around with the veil. Black women in slavery. That nigga ass will never see the light of day. They locked that nigga ass up. You see, Khaled, dead. You see what I'm saying? Not dealing with the spirit shit and got niggas up there with fucking machine guns and shit like that, knowing damn well them niggas gonna get their ass killed. With this bullshit, a new Black Panther party. That's a fucking joke. When they broke down what these niggas was doing, it was just about feeding the damn homeless. I said, wait a minute now, you got all this black shit and guns and shit, and you talking about this shit about feeding the homeless? Give me some concrete shit. You see, all these fucking groups. You see what I'm saying? Running game on people. Remember Jasper, Texas, when they drug the guy down the street? Yeah. Didn't Khaled come up there? Yeah. In Jasper, Texas, didn't he have machine guns and shit? Yeah. It's illegal to have machine guns in this country. And automatic rifle, he had AK-47s and all this shit here on TV. And nobody figured it out, the nigga didn't get arrested. You see, but when they when the government wanted to take him out, they used his own wife. He got in there, pissed, and shitted, they poisoned him. He went home, made love, threw up, pissed, shitted on himself, vomited, and fell into the bathroom. His wife came and took a pillow.
Whoever in the navy blue Cadillac, this lady needs y'all to come move. You're blocking her driveway.
Yeah. Took a pillow, put under his head, and went back to sleep for 6 hours. This is what his wife did. Cleaned up the evidence and all. We got the report and everything here from the Black Panther Party. But my point here is, you gotta come correct. You see, all the old regime of getting over on black people But all that stuff there now, it don't work no more. You got to come correct with stuff. You see what I'm saying? So they took him out. You see what I'm saying? They took him out. It's about now knowing. Now if you got some spiritual shit going down, you can't front to the public about how you bad. And then when the cracker come after your ass, you better know some shit. See what I'm saying? You better know something. That's how this thing goes. You know, so when they rolled on me, a couple of three, I had to sneak out of New York on 9/11. And when they rolled on me, I got home that Friday, that Saturday, they rolled on me. They had 25 police cars, 2 helicopters, 2 big trucks. I mean, it was like it was just the whole street was just full of police cars. And me and the sister Kimberly standing on the goddamn front porch, and they couldn't even see our ass.
Come on.
They couldn't even see us. And then on December the 19th of the same year, after 9/11, that was like a couple of days after 9/11, they rolled on me again and got the wrong fucking street. See what I'm saying? But the thing about it here is you got to roll with some shit. You got to be sincere. You can't be lying to the people. So he's talking about the planet Ritz and all that shit. So as a result, he's sitting in jail now. And I want to know how the hell you this great Osiris figure, and you sitting in jail, and you can't get yourself out of jail. I know some goddamn niggas from Mullen, South Carolina. Them niggas is experts on getting out of jail. You can't get out of jail. So it's time. So the spirit world is dealing with some things. Give me some more questions right quick before we go to what you call it. Go ahead.
I want to ask you think he's really responsible for 9/11? I have my own idea.
Huh?
I have my own idea, but
that's just the government, you know, or the Illuminati, the government. They built the building to blow it up. You know what I'm saying? First of all, they're gonna get a Japanese man to build one of the most important buildings. And so I know racism. This is 1965, 1966. They ain't gonna get no Japanese to build no building. One of the world icon structures. They're gonna get a Japanese. A white man don't work that way. They got it because they knew they was gonna blow the damn building up. And even the Japanese say, I designed the damn thing to take a hit from a 747. And that shit was imploded. Just like they blow down these buildings, implode them. That was imploded, and it was just the government did the shit. You know what I'm saying? It's called the Reichstag program. What it is this here. It's Adolf Hitler did it. What you do is, it's a science of mind control. What you do is you go and you burn down a government structure. Then when you burn down the government structure, the people get all scared and say, oh, our government is about to fall. Then it's a problem solution thing. Then you go, okay, then we're going to go after these terrorists, the people that burn down the building and stuff. And then you enact these laws to go after the people and stuff like that. It's a problem solution type thing, and it's nothing but the government and the Illuminati and the Skull and Bones and the whole people that run the shit. I mean, Condoleezza Rice called Willie Brown, the mayor of San Francisco, and told him don't fly that day. FEMA, Federal Emergency Management Act, came in the night before, 9/10, to secure the parameter. You see what I'm saying? So that was all the setup. And as a result, all these laws ain't act. But guess what? Bill Cooper was talking about that shit for 10 years before it happened. How they were gonna blow up something, how they were gonna do it, and what happened to him? A month after 9/11, they killed his ass. That was all. That's all the same. The same aspect and all. You know, they got these orange. Isn't it funny how for the last 3 years they done had these orange alerts, red alerts, and all this shit at the airport, and they don't never really tell you what happened to them. And every Christmas, people don't know they had it in 2002. They had an orange alert or a red alert. So I want to know this here. How the hell you gonna know when there's supposed to be something supposed to be hit in the country, but you can't catch nobody? But every 5 goddamn months, somebody showing up on videotape. I want to know this here. How the hell you gonna say you gonna have Saddam Hussein, and we can tell this is a real one because we checked his DNA. How the fuck you get his DNA?
That's right. That's right.
And you this exception. How the fuck did they get his? Them front of them, oh, we know it's him, we got his DNA. But see, they done got the people under mind control. Whatever come out that TV, you go, and then you might go, oh, this is him, mama, because they got his DNA. Your mama like, oh, they got his DNA, well, I guess that's him. Yeah. You go on back in there cooking some goddamn eggs. You understand what I'm saying? See the mentality? Now I want to show you this here. They catch a motherfucker with $700,000, and he's sleeping in a goddamn hole. And I'm supposed to believe this shit? You see what I'm saying? When they said that they flew him out of Baghdad, when they had the airport shit going on, and they was fighting at the airport, they was flying Saddam Hussein at the same time. Only thing this shit is worldwide wrestling, man. Try to understand the difference. And this is what happens. They'll come in and they'll go, come into his trailer. Hey man, it's time for you to make an appearance. He come in and make the appearance. Then they go, you can go back, and he flies out to a resort somewhere, and you don't see him no fucking more. You never saw Noriega before again?
No, never heard about it.
You see what I'm saying? Come on, man, this is all Hollywood. We believe this bullshit. Oh, they got his DNA. You understand what I'm saying? Oh, they killed his 2 sons, but we see some big swollen head people laying in their ashes. Oh, that's right. Oh, that's it. Oh, they killed his sons.
Yeah.
This motherfucker worked for the damn people. Him, Gaddafi. Remember, they never put their true enemies on TV. You don't even know their name. To invoke their name. You see what I'm saying? It's something. All their enemies, it's all in the movie Wag the Dog. All their enemies work for them.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And you believe in this old bullshit. You see, you had a question. Somebody.